Feels weird talking to a camera again. It's been a minute since I've done a video like this. There's nothing on the agenda for today. This video probably won't get posted. Well, it might. It'll depend. Gonna go meet up with one of the boys. The infamous Durfee the Dude. I've had many a bike since I saw you guys last, since you guys have seen me last. For those of you that keep up on the social media accounts, you'll know what I've had. But for those of you just watching the YouTube videos, you won't know. Maybe that's what we do. Maybe we go through the history of the bikes that I've had while we're on our way to go find Durfee Dude. He told me to text him, and we were going to come up with a spot to meet, and then we just never did, so. We're in the same town. We'll find each other eventually. So, the history of bikes. So, I had the Grom. You guys have seen that bike in videos before. No longer in possession of that there Grom. I missed the girl. But we had to move on to bigger things. And then I had the CBR 500R. Love that bike. In terms of just riding around cruising, by far one of my favorite bikes to just rip and cruise around on. So I actually got rid of the CBR for a Daytona Triumph, or excuse me, a Triumph Daytona 675R. Second favorite bike I've ever had. I will own another one at some point. We parted ways with the Triumph, and the next bike to land in the garage was an MT-10. We went the chase on two wheels route. The MT-10, another fantastic bike, but the MT-10 was a hoot to ride. All of you guys who have ridden Nakeds, you know, those bikes are just, they're hooning machines. Honestly, I usually tell people, if you're looking at getting a motorcycle, upright Naked. The Nakeds are just, they're so much fun. They're more fun than Super Sports, in my humble opinion. Anyone who thinks that you have to go 180 to 200 mile an hour on a bike to have fun, you don't know what you're talking about. Honestly, the most fun part about riding a bike is just getting out on whatever bike you can get on and riding it. I think we have found Durfee the Dude. I'm not an expert, but I think that is Durfee the Dude. That is Durfee the Dude. We'll go run him down. Look at that. We linked up. Told you guys we'd find him. Yeah, so I had the MT-10, and actually when I bought this bike, I still had the MT-10. It suffered an unfortunate fate. I don't think he'll care that I talk about this. I let a friend ride the bike, and luckily him and the other rider were okay, but they had an unfortunate incident and made a little bit of contact, and that bike got totaled out. And that left us with this bike. There he comes. We got him. We got the boy. It's always a good time riding with friends. I enjoy my solo cruises, but something about just having one of your boys with you, going on an adventure. Woo! While I owned both bikes, while I had the 10 and the S1K, I honestly didn't ride the 10. And I mean, part of it was just, I love the S1000. I've been in love with this bike for a very long time, so the fact that I now own one, still when I come out to the garage I get all giddy because it's like, oh my god, I got one of these. I still remember the first time I saw one of these in person. I'd been watching a ton of YouTube videos on them, and it was the 2020 model year. I'd been watching all the videos on them. I needed one. I wanted one. An old friend and I went on a trip to Tail the Dragon. First time ever going there. And we leave the Airbnb, and just a few minutes into the ride, this is what we see. One of these. First bike I saw, and from then on I knew it was destined. And it has been amazing. And honestly, between this and the 10, I would ride the 10 occasionally, but this was just the new fun thing to have. I'd been fantasizing about this bike for so long. But then also the build quality, like just the difference in quality between both bikes. Going from the Yamaha, by no means do I think Yamahas are bad bikes. When people ask what bikes they should buy, Yamaha's up there on my list. Like the R9 is up there for me. R9, R7, MT-07, MT-10s, MT-09s, I love them all. It's just, when you ride them back to back, that is where you can really see the differences in these bikes. So like the throttle, for example, the amount of throttle play in the 10 compared to the BMW, the paint quality, the quality of the plastics, it just didn't feel as nice. What made me decide I wanted an S1000? Like, what was it? I mean, besides the stunning good looks. Besides the stunning good looks, that's not all. It was a lot of the features. When I bought the MT-10, when I was looking for that upgrade from the 675, I wanted to go to a 1000 because I'd never owned one before, and I wanted cruise control. Those were like my big things. And heated grips. I ended up putting heated grips on the 10. And the S1K, 1000cc, beautiful looking bike. Cruise control, navigation, heated grips, can connect your helmet and everything to it. It was just so nice. Although, looking back, I personally believe that tech on motorcycles isn't there. It's just not. Don't buy a bike for the tech. I mean, besides like if you need lap timers, or if you care about lean angle, tire pressure stuff, like that stuff's all cool. But like navigation, I rarely ever use it on this bike. Having my phone connected to it and my helmet is cool, but it's, at least with this bike, it's been so finicky that I honestly have multiple times just switched to connecting my Cardo to my phone direct and keeping the bike out of it because it acts up so much. It just becomes an inconvenience, and like I go out to ride and then I spend 20 minutes messing with my helmet and my phone trying to get them to pair to the bike, and then by the time I get it done, I don't even want to ride anymore because I was so frustrated. So if this does make it to the YouTube, I might have been on a slight little bit of a hiatus. Just a wee bit of a hiatus. Not too long, you know, only a few months, really, a year, 2, maybe 8, I don't know. When I started, I hated video editing. I loved taking photos. I loved taking photos and photo editing. I never was really into the video stuff. Actually, my first 2 videos, I had my friend Brian help me edit because I hated editing that much. The the thought of sitting down behind a computer for hours rewatching the adventure I already lived. So I mean, it's cool, but at the same time, just not. It wasn't for me. So that's the only reason I was able to get those 2 videos up. But as my photography stuff kind of moved on, I went kind of from like just like, and by photography I mean like I just enjoy taking photos on my phone. I could never justify spending hundreds or thousands of dollars on a camera because my phone was taking as good of photos as I was capable of. But then I eventually upgraded. I got the Canon M50 and now I'm shooting on a Sony A7 IV. But as my photography evolved, you know, it went from just taking pictures to taking photos and throwing a filter on to taking photos and actually hopping into Lightroom and doing an edit. And I really started to enjoy that. I started getting more interested in video, especially when I went from an Android to an iPhone. The video quality, I still think my photos were better on my Android, but video by far is so much better on the iPhone. So I started playing around with video stuff more, and I did quite enjoy that. And I started doing short form content, and that went from just like short clips that I would record to, oh god, he's got the zoomies, to going to CapCut and messing around with stuff on CapCut. And now it's turned into using Final Cut on my laptop and doing edits that way. It kind of is much like my photography journey now, just with videos. The next upgrade from there is to actually start to do long form content for YouTube again instead of just Instagram content and shorts. I feel like I did this video ass backwards. I started talking about all the bikes that I had and really just blurbing nonsense, and now I'm actually talking about something that could be the topic of the video. I don't know where we're going, man. Do you know where we're going? I don't. Oh well. We just cruising. We just cruising. That's the best part about bikes, man. You just cruise. You just go. You just have fun. So what kind of content, I guess, is something I should talk about, because if this video goes up, this is not at all the type of content I plan on making. I'll sprinkle it in here and there, but talking to the camera is hard. I have to be in a very specific mindset and mood to do it. So even like today feels kind of forced because I'm not quite in that mood. If I really truly believe that I want to start doing this content stuff, not like to be a full-time creator or anything like that, that's not the end all be all, just as something, as a hobby for me, something to do in my downtime, something to kind of keep the creativeness in my mind flowing, to not get stale, get set down. So this is just kind of my creative outlet. Think of ideas and see if I can muster it up and turn it into something, and then let other people judge it. Will other people's judgment and opinions affect what I do? I will take feedback, but at the end of the day, I'm doing this for me. I'm doing it because I want to do it. So ultimately, the most important opinion is the opinion of myself. If I enjoy the content, then I feel like I should post it. If I don't enjoy the content, then I won't post it. Kind of as simple as that. And these talking head videos aren't at the top of my list for ideas of fun content. I think he's good. We'll go that way. Like the type of like this vlogging style content, I think it's cool. I mean, that's what my first 2 videos were. But you'll notice the common denominator in those videos was I was riding with other people. That's just, I'm a very introverted person, so like I prefer to just kind of be by myself, maybe with one other close friend, But other than that, like, I like to keep to myself. I don't really like to talk a lot. But as I've gotten older, I've come out of that shell a little bit more and started to enjoy talking to people more. I have my days. Some days I do, some days I don't. Now, what type of video I will post, I actually went back and forth a lot on it, of like, what type of video would I do? Like, would I just find a cool location and do some like cinematic B-roll, like very short, like 1 minute to 2 minute long B-rolls of bikes or other people's bikes? And while I do want to incorporate that, that isn't going to be my main thing, because that means I'm stopping, like I'm riding to a location, so I'm enjoying the ride there, but I kind of want to bring you guys on the ride with me, bring you guys on the journey. If you guys want to kind of be in my head when I'm riding, I'm just throwing a playlist on and I'm going for a ride, going where it takes me. So I was like, why not do that with my videos? So that's the plan. I plan on just going out, going for a ride, going wherever I feel like going, and then we're just going to throw some music over top of it. But it won't just be POV. I've actually had the 360 camera longer than I've had my DJI Action 6, which is what I'm recording this video on right now. But we got a little setup. You guys can't see it, but I have a arm mounted on the subframe of my S1000 with my 360 extension pole connected to it. I just leave it on the bike all the time. Sometimes I'll move this camera from the POV of me to that POV, so that way it's kind of up off the back of the bike, so you kind of get that third person view. What else can I yap about? I'm gonna be honest, guys, I got nothing. Like I said, I'm not feeling yappy today. I'm kind of just in the mood where I just want to turn the music up and just ride. But I felt like I needed to make this video, not for the internet, not for other people, not for views, not for likes. I needed to do it for me, to prove to myself that I can do this, I will do this, and I will stick to it. And by making this video and posting it, I'm putting it out there for other people to help hold me accountable. 2 people that end up watching this video. Actually, I'd be pretty stoked if 2 people watch this video. I'll be even more stoked if you made it this far into the video. So I'm gonna be honest, I don't know if I could watch this far. And you know what? No, that's a negative mindset. We will not have that here. Not now, not in this video. You will stay, you will watch this far, and you're gonna like it. I'm not saying you're gonna press the like button on the video. You should, but I'm not saying that. I'm just saying you enjoyed this ride that I recorded today. And I think that is how I want to end this video. I think that's a good place to stop. I'm all out of the yappiness in my body that I could muster up to press record on this camera. I think we're gonna end it here. I'm gonna enjoy the rest of this ride with my buddy. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day, the rest of your night. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Hope to make some more videos for you guys to enjoy.